Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you do not have to break the bank in order to become a homeowner. I was looking over some financial documents. I was just looking, I don't know why, and it popped up the sheet that I got from my lender and how it showed everything in detail. And I said, you know what, I want to do a video on this because I did do some other videos. I did a Q&A. Of course, you guys see my quick home tour. So you definitely want to check that out too. And I also did, I think there's another video on credit. So I will link those 3 videos down below so you can check them out because maybe you have similar questions. And I don't really think I really went into depth in the Q&A video. So you can probably just check it out just to help you out, whatever. So like I said before, this video I'll be talking about how you do not have to break the bank and talking about me and my husband's journey. Maybe it can help you, give you guys some extra tips. Maybe these are some things that you knew but you really didn't know how to go about doing it. So that's why I'm here, to help you guys become a homeowner. So before I begin, I do want to give a disclaimer. I'm not telling you to become a homeowner overnight. It does take preparation and planning that I highly suggest, and I'll get into the details of why. And another thing is, don't think that you can just become a homeowner if you have a shitty credit score. So you definitely want to be putting in the work with that as well. So I just basically want to start off with three key words that I want you guys to think about on your journey. So when I wanted to become a homeowner, I basically manifested. I basically said I will become a homeowner and not I'm never going to be a homeowner, because the moment you put negative thoughts into your mind is the moment it's not even in your future. It's nowhere near in the vision that you are aligning, because you're already telling yourself it's impossible to overcome. Like I told you guys before, if you guys missed it, me and my husband, our credit score was crappy due to our son having open heart surgery, but we planned and we prepared. So the second key word I want you guys to also keep in mind is realistic. So be realistic in your budget, be realistic when your credit score, and just be realistic into everything that you want. That's why I say it does take proper planning and preparation, because you really have to ask yourself, what can you necessarily afford? That's why budgeting is so key into this journey, because if not, you won't be able to become a homeowner. And I really get into the details of why when I tell you guys like the pricing of homes and how it can really affect the whole thing when you get to closing. So the third thing is focus. I want you guys to stay focused, because you will have things thrown your way, meaning people asking for money. You will have maybe you have time management or budget management where, you know, funds aren't really together, but you still trying to save, and you may have things that just may come up, and you have to stay on top of your credit report and stay on top of your finances. And especially when you begin the journey, your realtor would tell you, or your lender, can't remember which one, but I'm going to tell you, is you want to make sure your bank statements are pretty good 2 to 3 months before you start the journey. So if you know we're in December, you know you want to become a homeowner by May, start planning and preparing that you aren't really spending a lot of money out of your accounts, because they will look at that. You know, it can make or break you. They will ask you different questions about where did you spend this. Like they asked, when I got to the underwriting, they asked me, because I paid the deposit out of my account. So because me and my husband have different accounts, so they were like, well, which account did this come through? I had to show proof. They wanted to see my bank they wanted to see those bank statements for that, because it came out of a completely different account. So yeah, you want to make sure you are focused, you are being realistic, and you are manifesting all of this. It may seem like a lot, but honestly, I'm here to tell you, do not stress this, because you will only put more stress on yourself. Already looking at my financial statements, and I was looking at the closing costs layout. So when you have a lender, whoever you choose, because it is your choice, you will be in coordination with this person. This is going to be like your pocket dial person until you get to underwriting, because they will keep you afloat along with your realtor. And that's why it's so key to have a great realtor, so key to have a really bomb lender, because if not, it can really make the process a little bit harder. My lender and realtor were amazing, and if you're in the Maryland area, check my girl Brandy out, or someone else you know. I do know others, but if you really want someone who gets you there, fight for you when it's time to go through the process, that is good. And that's another thing, I did kind of talk about the process in the Q&A, so go check that out. So yeah, I had to say all that because I want you guys to know that it is possible, but you have to be realistic in this. Like, you just can't say, I'm gonna be a homeowner next month. It doesn't work like that. Most loans take about 60 days to get you to closing. So I was looking at my financial statements, trying to think about the way to go about this, because I was thinking about, like, well, which way I'm gonna go about this? Well, should I talk about mine? And I'm gonna actually show you guys. This is gonna be like real life receipts, so that way you know I'm not bullshitting and it breaks it down, because I have took a screenshot of it. So I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to show you, like I said before, being realistic. So knowing what your budget is, so you know that you can possibly afford a home around, all right, let's start off with this. Say you get pre-approved for $250,000. You don't necessarily want to go to the high end of the $250,000, because that will play a key factor in your mortgage, and you definitely want to make sure you're checking out the interest rates when it is time to become a homeowner, because this will make or break your mortgage. And I'm speaking from example. When we first started, the market was at about a 3-point-something%. And that can really make or break your mortgage. And I'm gonna say that again. That will really make or break your mortgage. And that's why it's so important to have a really great credit score, because you wanna make sure your lender gives you the low end of the damn stick. So when you're thinking about your home purchase, you want to make sure you're being realistic. That's why it's so important for you and your partner, or maybe you, if you're just single, to look at your finances and to say, this is what I can afford. And they do have calculators online that you can look up to put in to see how much you can afford for a home. Because with our lender, we were able to kind of pick and choose the price, which I'm gonna get into at my next point about programs. But we were able to pick and choose the price, and we knew realistically we didn't want to go over $200,000, because there's a lot of things that come into play, which I will show you on the screenshot that I have, because there's a lot of key things that come into play when you are going to become a homeowner. Like I said before, your interest rate, you definitely want to make sure you're watching the market when you are coming to be a homeowner, because it can make or break your mortgage, and you could be paying more than what the actual home is actually freaking worth. So you definitely want to make sure that. Number two, be mindful of the area that you are choosing, because it's like number one, but it's all in the same. Number two is make sure when you do your area checks, make sure it is not in a flood area, because for us, we live in a flood area, which is not high, but you still have to kick out an additional loan. So that was something else that we had to be mindful of going through closing. And I'm not saying all this to scare you. I'm saying this because I want you guys to know that it's not necessarily a trick, but it's a great informative way for you to become a homeowner. And you want to be watching the market, because the market does have seasons where it goes up a little higher, and then you have to watch the market where people aren't really selling. So that's why your realtor will come in handy, because he or she will be able to tell you when's the perfect time. Of course, they don't really care about the perfect time, but if you have a really great realtor, they will work with you in your budget. Like Brandy, she was really dope, because she knew when we had our consultation, she knew what we could afford. We told her, we're not trying to go over this, we're trying to stay in this ball game, and you just want to be realistic. You want to leave a little bit of wiggle room. Programs. A lot of people know about programs, but they aren't really necessarily using them for their effective reasons. So you have a lot of programs out there that you can get into that you don't have to necessarily pay back. For us, we did Navy Federal. Navy Federal had a first-time home buyers program that we didn't have to do a down payment. And that is great, because it will really help you when it's time to get to closing. And that is why I say I'm going to show you guys everything a little bit as I go, because if you didn't know, you need a down payment and you need closing costs. These are two different money things that you're going to be kicking out unless you are in a program. One of my girlfriends, she had a first-time home buyers program in the city, and she got she bought a home in the city, but you could use it for like county, and she got $15,000. So she didn't actually have to put up anything when she went to closing because her house, key number one, was really low. The interest rate was okay, and she didn't have to kick out that much money when it came to closing because she can afford it. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. And there are different programs to look up. Whatever state you are in, look them up. Get in a group on Facebook if you can. Get in the Dream Catchers group. That way you can know this vital information. Like, that's how I found out about Navy Federal. Then when my job, and Navy Federal is you can only be sponsored in. So if you have any military veterans, or if you work for like DOD, get in there if you want to do that program. I'm not saying you have to, but they do have really great first time home buyers programs. So I'm gonna be showing you guys, I'm gonna put it right here because I have a little bit more space. So as you can see, it says calculating cash to close. My total cash to close was $11,000. That is a lot of money on top of if you have to kick out a down payment. So again, guys, look up programs that can help you out. You can get anywhere between $5,000, I think, up until $20,000, depending on your family's income. Navy Federal actually doesn't have a requirement for its pay, and you don't have to do any classes. That was the good thing, because we actually couldn't afford the first time home buyers programs for the city and the county anyways because of our income together and our household size, which is stupid because it's like, ma'am, I'm still struggling. What the hell are you talking about? So as you can see, it says total. So closing cost finance. So this was paid from our loan amount. Again, our loan took care of the down payment, and it took of something else. I really can't remember. I have to go look. But when you're looking up programs, ask the person who's in charge, or the lender, or whoever it is, all it entails, because there may be a little bit more money that you can get from it. So as you can see, down payment, we had to put 0, so that is at a 0. Your deposit, that is $1,000, so that is $1,000 that you kick out when you're sure about this home, when you're going to make an offer on this home. I explained all that in my other video, and if you need more details, comment below. We can chit chat about that, but you'll need that $1,000. That's basically the seller wants to know that you are actually sure that you are trying to purchase their home. So funds for borrower, 0. So the seller, this is another great key point. That's why you have to have a great realtor. I'm not gonna keep talking about this. Your realtor will ask your seller if they will help with closing cost payments. Most of the times they will help. My realtor told me, I think the percentage is about a 3.5 of your home. Key point again, that's why it's important to find a realistic budget home. Honestly, and this is your first home. It may not be your forever home. For us, this is our home that we want to give to our children. So it's not our forever home. You know, it's just something that we want to keep in the family. So I know, like, if you were in a situation as me and you wanted to move really bad because you were tired of where you were living, don't think about it in a negative way. So the next thing they have on here, adjustments and other credits, which is 0. So as you can see, the estimate cash to close was $2,426. That is all me and my husband came to the table with. So again, when I say you don't have to break the bank, because there are ways, that's why it's very important to budget and plan. That's why it's important to know a knowledgeable realtor. That's why it's important to do your research on these programs, and there are programs out there. Do not think that you are exempt because you make a lot of money. Check your credit unions out, because most of the times they don't have income requirements like these really strict ones that are income driven for people. And like I told you guys before, we didn't have to do any first time home buyers program. We didn't have to do any of that. All we had to do was go on NavyFederal.com and sign up. That was it. They tell you approve, you know, the whole process like that. So kind of getting on the third thing I wanted to discuss about how you don't have to really break the bank. So if you're not really a saver, start today. I'm not saying that, because let me tell you this. I did a video on the things, I did 4 videos. I did do a video on the things that they don't tell you about home buying. There will be things that pops up, and I wanted to kind of talk about that on here, because I don't want you to think that, oh yeah, I'm gonna be kicking out a little bit amount of money. Oh, and my house, for instance, was only 175K, and we got it at that off. It was offered at 175K, got it at 175K. Again, that's why it's very imperative to have a really great, knowledgeable realtor to help you on making offers, because they will do the research of the neighborhoods and they will get you the most affordable price for your budget. And honestly, if the people decline your offer, there are many houses. Keep going, honestly and realistically. Don't go over your budget just to get a house that you probably won't even live in that long, honestly. And I'm just being truthful about that. So don't think that you don't have to have extra money. You really should just keep saving, even though, because me and my husband, we had a goal that we wanted to save. So when it was time to buy, we were able to use the rest of the money for any hiccups and furniture. Like, I didn't even have to have a housewarming party because everything was taken care of. We properly planned. So just be realistic. Yes, there are affordable ways to become a homeowner, but plan it. So maybe you want to take a year or 2 years. That is perfectly fine. You want to know why? Because you're not rushing into it. You're giving yourself time to prepare, and you're not breaking the bank while doing it, and you're able to have money left over, especially if you have children. That's why I really wanted to do this video. I hope that it was a lot of information, but I really wanted to get it out for you guys and show you actual proof, because I want you to know that it can happen. Most programs, there are most programs that do the down payment, that don't do down payments. There's some that help you with closing costs. There's some that actually help you with both. I know a lot of people that work for Johns Hopkins. They get a really great package, but you have to like buy the homes down there in Johns Hopkins area. So just do your research on the neighborhoods, the programs that's out there in the counties that's for you. And I just wanted to let you know that it's proof that you don't have to break the bank. You've seen it with your own eyes. There is no fabrications in there at all. So I hope you guys liked this video. I really hope it was very informative. Hope I wasn't like going all over the place, because it was a lot of info and I have a damn headache just trying to get it out for you guys. So guys, until the next video, I will see you. Don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. You really help your girl out when you do both of those things. And I'll just see you guys.